Okay, so after creating state nodes LLM, I'm going to create a graph builder.py. So here I'm going in graph.builder.py. Okay, so here I'm going to import from LangGraph.py, import state graph, start and end. Okay, so after this I'm going to import custom state structure. Okay, from src LangGraph state dot state import state. Okay, so here we are going to load our state, this one, this class. Okay. Mm-mm. And from src LangGraph agentic AI nodes, basic chatbot nodes, import basic chatbot nodes. Okay, so here I'm going to import these things, basic chatbot nodes. Okay, now class equals to graph builder. Here you can see description of this class. Graph builder class is responsible for creating and connecting all the node in LangGraph for different chatbot use cases. Okay, so this is the constructor. Okay, here I'm going to pass self and model, and you can see here description of this function. Initialize the graph builder with the given LLM language model, and here you can see model, the language model instance grok LLM in this case. Okay, so here we are going to initialize the graph builder with the given LLM, so that's why we use this define init. Okay, underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Okay, now self.llm models. Okay, uh, okay, so initialize the state graph with our state structure. So self.graph builder. Okay, this will initialize the structure. Okay, state structure of a like for graph. Okay, initialize the state graph with our state structure. Okay, so this is the variable self.llm, this is the model. Okay, now I'm going to create another function that is called a basic chatbot build graph. Okay, so this is the description: build a basic chatbot graph using a LangGraph. Okay, so these are the steps: create a chatbot node using the basic chatbot node class, add it as a node in the graph, define the edges to connect the start LLM and end. Okay, so here create the chatbot logic, pass message to the LLM, self.basic chatbot node, basic chatbot self.llm. We are going to pass message to the LLM. Now add the chatbot node to the graph. So here self.graph builder dot add nodes. So here we are going to add nodes in our graph. Chatbot self dot basic chatbot node dot process. Okay, so here we are going to take it from here, basic chatbot nodes. This one, basic chatbot nodes from src lang graph agentic AI nodes, basic chatbot nodes, and import from this, import basic chatbot nodes. Okay, this one. Now add the chatbot node to the graph. Okay, so these are the, this is the node, node. Okay, and this is the connect the start to the graph to the, sorry, connect the start of the graph to the chatbot node. Okay, so here we are going to create another edge, self dot graph builder add edges. Here we are going to connect this node to the start, that we can start our graph. Okay, start and chatbot, connect chatbot node to the end of the graph. Okay, so here we can connect our chatbot with the end, like it start, in between you can do query and it will end. Okay, now after this we have another function graph setup graph. Okay, here the parameter is self and use cases should be in string. So here you can see description of this function. Set up the graph for the selected use cases. Example, if user select basic chatbot, we build that graph and return compile the LangGraph object ready to run. Okay, if you just select basic chatbot, then it will build the graph. Okay, that's why we create a setup graph function. So if use case is equals to basic chatbot, self basic chatbot build graph. Okay, basic underscore chatbot underscore build underscore graph, then then it will return self dot graph builder and compile. Okay, compile convert graph definition executable from. Okay, so this is the graph builder. Here we have created nodes. Okay, I mean we had node in a graph and also edges and start and end these edges. Okay, after this I need to move in UI. Okay, so here in UI folder in SRC you need to go in UI folder. Here LangGraph Agentic AI, and here you need to go in UI, and inside the UI you need to open this. You need to move this file, UI config file. Okay, so this file defines the default setting. Use the chatbot UI. Okay, this is the default that we can create a default setting. Page title, this one, build a state agentic AI graph, LLM option. So we are going to use grok, so that's why we wrote grok here. And use case option, basic chatbot. These are the grok model, llama, different llama gamma models. Okay, that we can use in our model, in our chatbot for response, that we get response from these model. Okay, and after this I have UI config file. Okay, so here you can see from config parser import config parser. Okay, so this will read init configuration file, this one. Okay, so UI config file read this file, page title, LM option, use case option, and grok model option. Okay, so here you can check. Okay, config class handle UI config. Okay, so this is for config. Okay, here I'm going to pass self and config. This is the path of our folder, src langgraph agentic UI config. This is the path of this file. Okay, this one, config UI config dot ini. Okay, so this initialize the description of this function. Initialize the config class and load the configuration file. Self.config equals to config parser, create a parser object. Okay, self.config.read config file. Inside this config file, so this will read the init file content. Okay, here define get LLM option self, so it will return a list of LLM model option from the ini file, these model. Okay, example grok. Okay, return self dot config default get LLM option splits. Okay, so this will show you this model. Okay, and after this get use cases option, return the list of available chatbot use cases. Example, basic chatbot, this one, basic use cases, this one, basic cases. And here return self.config default get use cases dot split. Okay, here this is the another function, get underscore grok underscore model underscore option. Okay, here description you can see return list of available grok model name. Okay, now this one, and return the grok model option from this file. Okay, and this is the another function, get page title. Okay, so this will show you page title. Okay, this is the variable which I have in this file. Get page title. Page title. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think now I can see again our structure.py file. So here I have created state nodes LLM grok LLM graph builder UI config file .ini UI config file .py. Now we are going to move this file on this file UI streamlit UI load UI.py. So inside the streamlit folder I have UI folder. Where is my UI? Sorry, where this is my UI folder. Inside the UI folder, I have Streamlit UI. Okay, so inside the Streamlit UI, I have load UI.py. This one, load UI.py. Okay, so here you can see I have import a streamlit that we can create UI, import OS that it will read the .env file, environment, okay, environment variable from env file. So from import the configuration reader class from src LangGraph Agentic AI .ui configurable file import config. So here we are going to import config file UI config file. So here where is our UI config file? This one UI config file. Okay, this will we are going to import in load. What is the name? Load UI. Okay. Now from load streamlit UI. Okay, this is the class. Okay, now you can see description of this class. Load streamlit UI handle the all streamlit pages. Set up the pages layout and headers. Display drop down and input box and collect user input like model API key and use cases. Okay, so this class handle these things. Okay, now we can see define underscore init underscore self. Inside this we have self. So initialize config to read value from the config.init file. Okay, so self.config equals to config. Okay, and here dictionary to store all the user input from the sidebar. Self.user control. Okay, so another function def load streamlit self build the streamlit user interface return dict user control controlling all the user selection LLM model API and etc. Here we are going to load streamlit UI. It will load your like API model in sidebar. Okay, so here you can see set the streamlit page title and layout. So st dot setup page config. So this will show you title. Okay, self dot config get page title and layout byte and st dot header in header. We get this output get page title. Okay, in sidebar selection with st sidebar. So here you can see load the option from config file dot ini. So LLM option equals to self.config get LLM option. Use case option equals to self.config get use case option. Okay, this is from our ini file. Okay, config ini UI config ini. Now LLM selection drop down. Okay, so self.user control selection LLM like st.selection select LLM option. So I think I already have this model. Okay, so here you can select the different model. I am going to use only grok, so that's why it will I mean it is showing grok, and you can select different model here. Okay, and here you can keep your API key and select the use cases basic chatbot. So this is the sidebar. Okay, so this is the sidebar selection. Okay, this one for LLM option that you can choose LLM different LLM inside this one. Okay, and here you can select and drop for LLM. Okay, and here user control, load the graph model list. Okay, so we are going to load a model list from ini file. Okay, selected graph model. Drop down the model selection, example llama and instant llama 3 instant. Okay, load the grok model and it will show you in a drop down box. So this is the code for drop down like this. Okay, and after this, input box for API key, hidden text. Okay, so this is our input box for OpenAI keys, OpenAI keys or grok API keys. This is for keys that we can enter here. Okay, so an API key, ht text input API key and type password. Okay, it will show you in placeholder password. If API key is empty, show warning. If not, if self dot user control grok API, it will give warning. Please enter the grok API key and proceed it, and you can buy it from this URL. So here, like I need to delete it, then it will say like please enter the API key. Okay, don't have API key, get it here, from here, you will get it from here. Okay, now use case selection, self.user control, select the use case ht selection, select the use case option and return self.user control. Okay, so I have created this thing, grok model selection API key, and this is for use cases. Here I'm going to pass basic chatbot. Okay, and this is our title. This one, LangGraph build stateful agentic AI graph. I'm showing you, this is the title. Here set distinctly page title and layout. Okay, so this is the this is the UI of this code. This one, ht.set get ht.set underscore page underscore config page title. Okay, layout, wide and header. Okay, so this is our title. Okay, and this is our sidebar. So here this is our sidebar selection. Okay, this is the sidebar. So here I'm going to use LLM option, use case option. Okay, load the option from config file .ini. Okay, so LLM selection, this will give you drop down, this one. Okay, and this will give you drop down like this. If you just select grok model, okay, grok model, then it will like drop down box for model, it will show you. Okay, and after this it will show you like if you need to full API keys, then it will show you hidden import box for hidden text, this one. Okay, after this will show you this one. Okay, like if you don't have API key, this will give you the warning, and this is for API key, and this is for model selection, this will give you drop down box for model, and this is for use cases select, like a simple chatbot, basic chatbot. Okay, so which I have in my ini file in stream.py, these things. Okay, use cases option, basic chatbot model, LLM option, grok page title, this one, and grok model option, these are the models. Okay, After this I need to create, I'm going to again in structure.py file. I have completed this till here, load.ui.py. Now we are going to display result.py. Okay, so here in UI streamlit folder we have display result.py. Okay, so here we import streamlit as st. Okay, from LangChain underscore core message import human message, AI message and tool message. Okay, and import JSON. So here we are going to display streamlit. Okay, this is our function constructor. This is the class. Take three things: use cases, basic chatbot. We already defined in ini file. Okay, and here second things, graph, compile the LangGraph object. Okay, user message, the import message from the user message means import message from the user. Self dot use cases equals to use cases, self dot graph equals to graph, and self dot user message equals to user message. Okay, now we are going to display on UI. Okay, these things, use cases, graph, and user message dynamically we can display on UI. So state assign a local variable, user use cases self dot use cases, self dot graph, and user message self dot user message. Now we are going to print user message, debugging the print in console, and after this we move on step second. Check if the selected use case is basic chatbot. So it will select if use case is equals to basic chatbot. Okay, and step 3, run the graph in streaming mode. Graph.stream generate the real-time event, while assistant response come gradually. For event in graph.stream, okay, here I'm going to pass message and user message equals to user message, user and user message. Okay, so print event dot value, debug the print of event value, and here you can see each event can handle multiple values. Throw value in event dot value, print message, debug the print message, and in step 5 display the message on streamlit UI, user message, lab chat bubble. So with st dot chat message, here user input chat message, and st dot drive user message, and assistant message write the chat bubble, st dot chat message assistant and write the message content.